The idea of Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight and fighting for a third belt kind of fell apart after his unfortunate loss to Magomed Ankalaev, but I wanted to unravel that. I wanted to see what would actually happen if Alex Pereira fought the top 15 of the heavyweight division. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to be matchmaking Alex Pereira against every single heavyweight that is ranked, and of course the champion Tom Aspinall. Before we get into it though, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe, but let's talk about it, dude. We're going to start off with number 15. The number 15 ranked heavyweight is Rizvan Kuniev, dude. Rizvan Kuniev versus Alex Pereira. Obviously, Rizvan Kuniev is coming off that fight to Curtis Blades not too long ago, in which he looked really good in, dude. He almost just beat Curtis Blades, and all I was thinking that entire fight, when Rizvan Kuniev was about to beat Curtis Blades, I was thinking, how bad is Tom Aspinall, guys? But seriously though, Rizvan Kuniev, dude, I'm gonna be honest, guys, the top 15 through top 8 really isn't going to be a problem for Alex Pereira. Pereira probably beats Rizvan Kuniev just with his nice striking, dude. Pereira's just going to piece this guy up on the feet. The grappling does not really interest me much, dude. I'm not really scared for Pereira. I think Pereira is just tall. He's big. You know, this is assuming Pereira bulked up to heavyweight properly even more than he's big now, and I think Pereira would just be too big. I think he'd be too dominant in that department to have Rizvan Kuniev take him down, and yeah, we'll see some stuff like that later on when we're facing the top 5 maybe of this division. But Alex Pereira probably gets this done against Rizvan Kuniev by third round TKO. Moving on, number 14, Martin Buday. Martin Buday, obviously the founder of the phrase jiggling at range, because this guy literally sits there, he jiggles at range, he throws a teep kick with the middle, jiggles at range, and honestly, I think out of the top 15, this is probably the easiest matchup for Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira would steamroll this heavyweight bum. He just pop the jab, right hook, left hook, piece up Martin Buday. Martin Buday would absolutely be flatlined, probably an under a round. Martin Buday, it's just not that good. He's a fat heavyweight. He's decent. He's had a little run. I think he's like 6-1 in the UFC, with his only loss coming to Shamil Gaziev, which is not a bad loss, guys. I mean, we know how good Shamil Gaziev is. But Martin Buday, dude, I think this would just be a free win for Alex Pereira. Martin Buday is not that good. And, you know, I don't know, dude. Once Martin Buday starts facing the top guys in the heavyweight division, his title run will probably be over. But yeah, Alex Pereira probably by first round KO. I mean, this is going to be a brutal KO that he's going to do to Martin Buday. Number 13, obviously this is before the rankings have actually updated, so who knows if this guy's actually going to be ranked number 13 when the rankings update after getting knocked out brutally by Derek Lewis. I'm joking, it wasn't brutally, it was kind of an early stoppage. You know, I haven't made a video talking about it, but it was kind of an early stoppage. The guy was getting up to his feet, and then Jason Herzog stopped it as soon as he got up to his feet, which is really weird, but obviously the bum got knocked out, dude. I mean, I don't even know what you're doing trying to bum rush Derek Lewis, one of the hardest hitters in UFC history like that. You're an idiot. This guy's fight IQ is pretty bad. But Talison Teixeira, dude, similar to this would be a fight with the giants. Pereira versus Talison Teixeira, just two giants going at it, and I still favor Pereira, dude. What, Talison Teixeira gonna take Pereira down? No. Dude, these guys are like the same size. Pereira's not tubby like this guy. This guy's a little bit chubby. Pereira would just piece up this guy, head kick. I could see a head kick, dude. I can see Alex Pereira getting his leg up like 7 feet tall to Talison Teixeira's head and chinning him brutally. We've seen him chin before by Derek Lewis. Alex Pereira would be no different. Number 13 is going to be a pretty good win for Alex Pereira. Pereira gets this past this guy pretty easily. Number 12 in the heavyweight division, Slick Mick Parkin. Slick Mick Parkin did, I mean, it just feels like I'm repeating the same thing. A blob with decent striking, not much takedowns. Can't take you down, dude. Bad grappling. Alex Pereira would beat this guy in under a round, dude. He's a blob. He went to a split decision his last fight with Moss and Tybita, and who we'll talk about later. But there's just not a lot's gonna happen in this fight, dude. Alex Pereira is just gonna piece this guy up. It's gonna be a brutal finish, like within the first couple of rounds. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about this for too long. Number 11, though. Number 11, we have the blob. We have one of the greatest of all time. Not one of the greatest to ever grace the sport. I think you guys know who I'm going to pick. It's going to be Shamil Gaziev, probably by first round blob. I mean, Shamil Gaziev, clearly the better fighter. Shamil Gaziev would ragdoll Alex Pereira in the grappling, in the striking, in the clinch, literally everywhere. Shamil Gaziev is that guy. And obviously I'm joking here, guys. Alex Pereira probably flatlines Shamil Gaziev in under a round. You know the division's cooked when Shamil Gaziev is one of your prospects. Shamil the Blob Gaziev, as much as I joke about it, is genuinely just a blob, dude. He doesn't have any technical ability. He's just able to beat other blobs. Alex Pereira would run through half of these guys. I don't even know why I'm talking about it, but this is a dumb video. I should have just done the top 5. But Alex Pereira would run past Shamil Gaziv in under a round, dude. Let's get into number 10. Number 10, we have Tai Tuivasa. What a sad follow for Tai Tuivasa, dude. I seen a picture of this guy the other day. I was disgusted. This guy looks like he's reaching 500 pounds. Tai Tuivasa looks the worst we've ever seen. I don't know if we'll ever see Tai Tuivasa in a UFC octagon ever again because of how bad he looks. He genuinely looks so dead. He looks like he'd be on my 500-pound life. He's fat, he's huge, it's unhealthy, and we need to go back to this guy's prime when he was piecing up guys like Derek Lewis, dude. Alex Pereira would ragdoll Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa can't get a break. Tai Tuivasa would probably get shinned by Alex Pereira within the first round, dude. That's a fact. Moving on to number 9, though. As funny as it is, Derek Lewis is probably so far the guy with the best chance. I mean, and it's just a fluke KO, dude. Derek Lewis would go out there, he'd get chinned in the first round by Shamil Gaziv, but then the next fight he'd beat Alex Pereira by flying knee. That's the type of guy we're talking about, dude. Obviously, Derek Lewis has some of the best knockout power in UFC history. I won't deny that anymore. But Alex Pereira, dude, just don't get caught and you're going to win this fight. This should be a pretty easy fight if you just don't get caught, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira should be able to manage the distance well, use the leg kicks, piece up Derek Lewis from range. I could see Derek Lewis just maybe don't even let Derek Lewis get in range. Keep the jab, pop the leg kick, dude. Beat Derek Lewis's legs up, and Derek Lewis will eventually crumble under pressure. Number 8, who do we have at number 8? We have Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak, he's a great fighter. The wrestling is really the only concern in this, but again, he's just a pudgy fighter. You know, I don't see him being strong enough to take Periera down, especially if Periera bulked up properly to heavyweight. Periera would just be able to overly consume this guy, dude. Periera will be the one holding this guy up against the cage. You're not getting Periera down, dude. Someone like this is not getting Periera down. Magomed Ankalaev couldn't get Periera down. And half of these heavyweights, with Periera actually bulking up to heavyweight, you're again not going to be able to get Alex Pereira down. Sergey Spivak, as much as I like you as a fighter, you'd be getting killed by Alex Pereira. Next fighter. What's this guy's name? What's his name, dude? Masentai Bitter. What's the question? Masentai Bitter? He's going to be facing Alex Pereira. I mean, it's just similar to Sergey Spivak, dude. The wrestling's maybe there, the striking's maybe there, but you're going to get shinned in like the first round by Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is just a way better fighter. Waldo Costa Cortez is our number 6 spot. This guy's on a mini title run, dude. His only loss is to like Marcus Rogero de Lima, and he trains out of Arizona, so I gotta give him my respect there. He's a pretty good fighter. I'm not serious, guys. This guy's just kind of like a blob like the rest of heavyweight. Maybe he's on a little bit of a run right now. His striking is actually good. You know, maybe this guy's not so bad, dude. I mean, obviously I'm still picking Periera to beat him, but this guy could have some decent moments against Alex Pereira, as crazy as it is. His striking is pretty good, and yeah, his clinch work is pretty good as well. Number 5. At number 5, we have Jailton Almeida, and we go from barely having a fight against Alex Pereira to Alex Pereira's first loss. That just shows you how bad the depth in this division is. Number 6, we had this guy. I don't think this guy would even really give Periera a fight. Maybe he'd have 1 or 2 good moments in the fight, but Periera would knock out this guy in one round. Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida is going to beat Periera. That's just my opinion, dude. I think that's a fact as well. Jailton Almeida's wrestling, his jiu-jitsu is elite, and he's actually one of those guys who has fought at light heavyweight before. We've seen him close to Alex Pereira. He's similar in size. He's physical. He has abs. He's on a fat heavyweight. His striking's improving, and I think he would be better than Alex Pereira. I think he'd be able to take Pereira down. I think he'd be able to hold Pereira down, and I think he'd be able to make Pereira look like he is lost on the ground. That is my opinion, dude. And yeah, the first guy who's gonna beat Alex Pereira at heavyweight, number 5th ranked Jailton Almeida, boys. Pretty big step up in heavyweights competition from number 6 to number 5. But we'll talk about number 4 next. Number 4, Curtis Blaydes. And you're probably thinking, well, I picked Jailton Almeida to beat Alex Pereira. Curtis Blaydes beat Jailton Almeida, so I'm probably going to pick Curtis Blaydes, especially considering the wrestling. I've thought about this, and for some reason I can't see an outcome where Curtis Blaydes beats Alex Pereira. I really don't. I think Curtis Blaydes' takedowns are pretty good, but Periera, for some reason, I can just see him being able to stuff them. I think Jailton Almeida's jiu-jitsu part of the game definitely makes me have a lot more confidence in him facing Periera than Curtis Blaydes' grappling does. I think Curtis Blaydes is a good grappler, and if he needs to take you down, he will. That's not even true, though, because he wasn't able to get any takedowns against 15th ranked Rizvan Kuniev, a blob. I don't know, dude. I think I think Alex Pereira would have a field day on the feet against this guy. I think Curtis Blaydes' striking looked very bad. Curtis Blaydes looked really bad in his last fight, man, and I don't think that Pereira would lose to this guy. I think Pereira is just the better fighter overall, more experience, and just a fighting game. You know, Pereira's done kickboxing for years, and I feel like this fight would stay on the feet most of it. Alex Pereira is my pick in this fight. I'll go decision, dude. I don't think he'll finish Curtis Blaydes because Curtis Blaydes is a pretty tough guy to finish. But yeah, no, we got next up third ranked Sergey Pavlovich. He's a great fighter. Sergey Pavlovich, dude, you're a mostly stand-up guy. You tried doing some weird wrestling against Rosenstruck, didn't go too well. Alex Pereira beats you, bro. That's a fact. Alex Pereira is gonna be able to just manage his distance. You're just a marauder, dude. I can't forget you getting chinned by Aspinall and losing to Volkov. I just can't. You know, there's just a fine line between a heavyweight fighter and a light heavyweight fighter, or realistically any division fighter. You know, we thought this guy was the boogeyman of the division until he ran into Tom Aspinall, and we figured out Tom Aspinall is the boogeyman of this division. Sergey Pavlovich, you know, I don't really rate this guy anymore. I think this guy kind of fluked a bunch of KOs over people, and people, no one talks about this guy like he's gonna ever fight for a title or even win a title, but I don't think this guy's very good. I think Alex Pereira beats this guy in the striking. I think Alex Pereira probably even has the same power as this guy. That might be a hot take, but Alex Pereira, he probably has the same power at heavyweight as Sergey Pavlovich. So that's just my pick. Number 2. Volkov, dude. Alexander Volkov. I am very high on Volkov, dude. I was thinking about this. The kid was on a 5-fight winning streak before his last fight. He should still be on a 6-fight winning streak if the judges didn't absolutely rob this guy at UFC 310. And this is a very hard matchup for Alex Pereira. Similar height, similar reach, similar everything. And I would go with Volkov to get the job done. Something about Volkov's style, just for me, proposes the threat to Alex Pereira. I think Alex Pereira would just be second in every exchange. I think Volkov's just a little bit quicker, especially at heavyweight. Volkov's just gonna be able to hit with more power, I feel like. Volkov's kicks are better. I mean, I don't know. That might be a hot take. That's a very bad take. Kicks to the body, I think Volkov has better kicks to the body. Kick to the legs, Pereira is probably the best leg kicker in the UFC. But Volkov, dude, I think he has a decent ground game. We've seen in that, his last fight against Cyril Gane, we've seen him be able to take this to the ground. And he's the same size as Pereira. I think he's bigger than Pereira. I think Volkov would be able to beat Pereira, dude. I genuinely do think that. And that might be a hot take. But still, dude, I'm going to go with Volkov, dude. That's just my opinion. Number 1 ranked Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane, dude. When Cyril Gane, when his infinite title shot glitch isn't working, dude, he's over here crying on social media. Why am I not getting a title shot? Shut up, you Frenchie, dude. Take another fight and maybe we can give you one. You robbed Volkov, dude. Everyone in the UFC, everyone and their mother knows that you robbed Volkov. Volkov beats Pereira. Cyril Gane does not beat Pereira. Cyril Gane, I could see this guy just getting pieced up by Pereira on the feet. His grappling isn't there, so it's a pretty even fight on the feet. And Pereira is just a quicker fighter in terms of that. And yeah, dude, I think Pereira moving up to heavyweight would be a very quick fighter. Quicker than Cyril Gane. You know, Cyril Gane, I talked about it in my last video. He's quick at heavyweight, but he's going to be facing a light heavyweight guy, lighter man skill, man. People forget. Cyril Gane, I don't think he'd be a very good. This would be a very hard matchup for Cyril Gane to win. Alex Pereira is my prediction for this fight. And now we're going to talk about the champion, Tommy Aspinall. You know, what would it take? Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. Alex Pereira, this is a very good fight, dude. Alex Pereira's talked about this fight. Tom Aspinall's talked about this fight. And who I think was going to win? I think this is pretty obvious, guys. Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight we've ever seen. That's a fact, dude. He's not the greatest heavyweight we've ever seen. He's not the most accomplished, but he is the best heavyweight we have ever seen. His grappling's there. Literally everything's there. He has the speed of a freaking flyweight, dude. I'm not even lying, dude. This guy's so quick. Knockout power. He can do it all. He can take you down. He can put you into Kimura. Alex Pereira would just get overwhelmed, dude. Tom Aspinall's huge, too, and Tom Aspinall's not a blob. Tom Aspinall was just muscle. I think Tom Aspinall would make Pereira look like small. It's just not be a very good fight for Alex Pereira. Pereira would look silly. And I think Tom Aspinall is the only guy at heavyweight who would make Pereira look silly. You know, I can't say that about Jailton Almeida. I can't say that about Volkov. You know, I would say Tom Aspinall would just make Pereira look silly. That's how far ahead Tom Aspinall is over any heavyweight in the world right now. Tom Aspinall would probably KO Pereira in the first round or submit Pereira in the first round. And that means Pereira against the heavyweights, he's going to be 13-3. that's not a very bad record. You know, he beat most of the heavyweights. The only heavyweights he lost to were Volkov, Jailton Almeida, and Tom Aspinall, which aren't bad losses, dude. And that is how I think Periera would do if he were to move up to heavyweight. I think a fight against Volkov would be a very good fight to make right now if he was planning on doing that right now. But he'll probably fight Magomed Ankalaev, get older, become a little bit more rusty, and then move up to heavyweight, and he'll probably lose bad at heavyweight. That's my opinion, guys. If you guys disagree, let me know down below. Let me know down below. If you guys agree, let me know down below. And that's gonna do it for today's video. MMA Outpost out.